Hello, viewers. Welcome to My Startup TV. I am your host, Tuti Singh. And before we begin with our Young Innovator show, do like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And also follow us on our social media handles. You can find the links below in the description box. Startups and unicorns have been the buzz for a couple of weeks, years, and needless to say, this decade has clearly been the decade for startups. All around the globe, we have seen the rise as well as the fall of various startups. Today, my guest is Mr. Shubham Raj, who is the founder and CEO of Cultus. Hi, Shubham. How are you?
Yeah, thanks, Stuti. Thanks for inviting me to the show. I'm glad I'm here. Yeah.
Great. So, could you please tell us a bit about your startup?
So, Shruti, our startup is Upcultus. Upcultus is an online learning platform where we believe in holistic development. Upcultus is for students of class 6 to 10th, where we are preparing students for the next generation. We are providing skill training and mentorship programs. Our skills, we are upskilling school students with 21st generation skills like communication, critical thinking, leadership, research, entrepreneurship, coding, personal finance, etc.
So, how and why did you start your venture?
Talking about how I started venture, when I entered my college, it was decided from like first month of my college that I am going to enter the startup sector, right? So first thing I did, I went and joined a startup, and I worked there for a year, closely to founders, got some initial exposures about marketing, sales, business development, collaborations. Then when I felt like, yeah, now I have a exposure, I have good exposure that I can start my own startup. I was preparing for JEE, and in drop year there was some triggers happened in my life, so that I moved to the startup sector, right? So from 1.5 years, I was struggling to start my own startup. So once I got the exposure from there, I decided to start my own startup Cultus. Talking about the part why I started Cultus, why I entered into edtech space. Many people have also grew up in a small village of Jharkhand. My primary education I have completed from middle school. Then I have to move to English medium school, which was 15 kilometers away from my home. So daily I had to travel to 15 kilometers up and 15 kilometers down, right? And I was not getting good education there. So this was a pain point that I always wanted to enter the edtech space. I wanted to contribute something in education. I moved to Patna, prepared for JEE, and my rank was not good in IIT JEE, so I ended up getting uh, food technology in Punjab University. So then I started the startup, getting exposures from some working in some startups. Then I have started this startup, Upgraders.
What all Upculters deals with?
So as I told, we are a edtech platform, learning platform. We teach students skills, right? Like entrepreneurship, coding, critical thinking, communication, leadership, personal finance, foreign languages, making them a skill to become future ready. That's we are doing at Upgrade.
So, what are the challenges that you face for doing startup in a small town?
Talking about the challenges we face as a student startup is you have to manage your studies as well. As we are bootstrapped with startup, we are not have funded yet, so it's a bootstrapped with startup. And when you are going to enter into an edtech space, it needs a lot of market push, right? It will takes a lot of money. So yeah, marketing to push in the market, we are facing some problems to enter the market, but it's okay.
So, I'm sure that you have decided all the marketing strategies and everything. I'm sure you must have
Yeah,
prepared
yeah,
everything,
yeah.
taking the market scenario into consideration.
Yeah, we have done a market research, and I'm going with them. Also, our startup has been selected for uh, acceleration program at Viridian Accelerator Center. So going for 4 months.
So, now that you've said that during your school times you faced a lot of problems while
Yeah.
going to school in your education and everything. So, what, according to you, must be changed in the field of education? What changes do you wish to bring?
Still, education in underprivileged areas, village areas are not good, right? So there are some government schools, and mostly students went to government schools, right, for primary education. So what we really need to change in education is to we should retrain our teachers. We are making the students for ready for the 21st century, right? So we should make teachers ready for them, for their students, so that they can teach with the modern style in the modern way, right? We cannot prepare 21st century students with the old curriculums, with the old concepts, right? So that should be a big like change I want in education system, that our teachers must be retrained, right? And again, and the second point that I want to address, we always run for marks, right? We should focus on some getting skills. A student should not be evaluating only on marks on exams, right? They should be evaluating on class participation by projects, communication, other curricular activities, and all. Talking about the skills, if you give a man a fish, you will feed him for a day, right? But if you teach him how to do fishing, you will feed him for a lifetime. So we should more focused about knowledge, not about getting marks. The teacher should be empathize with the students. There should be a good environment where we can share problems. This is a much change that I want in
That's
schools.
absolutely right. So, are you doing anything for students and entrepreneurs like you who are coming from your town?
So Upcultus, talking about Upcultus offers two programs. One program, skills plus academics, and another one is only skills. Okay. So we are targeting the segment which is lower than premium segment, middle strata society, lower strata society. We are making it the price is very affordable so that every can afford. That's we are doing here. We are not like charging so much. We are charging as at lower strata, middle strata society can afford it. That's I'm doing. And further, I have some plans for like as I grew up in Jharkhand, Bihar. So I have plans to start something more initiatives to help the students in education.
Okay, so what advice would you give to the college students? What are your advice for them?
The advice I would like to give college students: when you enter college, explore as much as you can. Do what you want, right? Don't limit yourself. Don't think so much. Yeah, I had to make 8 CGPA. I had to like something like that. I have a lot of friends who wants to start blogging, but they are not because they are still uh, running behind the marks policies. When I entered my college, I started working with startups. I explored as much as I can. I work with multiple startups in multiple roles. So I would suggest the students who are going to college, explore yourself, learn some skills. And the best way to learn some skill and practically applying it to work with some startups. That's the only thing that you can do. Other, if you want to start blogging, whatever you want to start it. Don't think too much. Because after 4 years, after 3 years, you are not going to, okay, yaar, now I want to do something, right? So this is the best time you should start with whatever you want. Another thing, network with people as much as you can. Networking is very important, right? Either if you are going to start a like if you are going to start a venture. So as we are in bachelors, we didn't get much funds. We don't get funds easily, right? So what we have is human capital. We don't have the actual capital. So we should create human capital. If you are going to start a startup, you should have friendship with some CSC guys who can create applications for you. You should have some commerce guys who can market your product. So you should network, you should explore as much as you can. And the most important thing I want every student to learn is sales skills. We usually underestimate the sales skills, right? In India, whenever you heard about, okay, he's salesperson, oh my God. So this is our like mindset, right? So we
That's
should change it. Everyone should learn sales skills because everywhere we are selling ourselves. So what I want to say is learn sales skills, or we should not underestimate salespersons because they are the only persons who generate revenue of the company. So selling a skill is very important skill, and I think everyone should learn it.
that's right.
So
So,
like
since
yeah,
you're also a student, so being a student, would you advise other students to do internship or work with startups?
yeah, why not? I would advise it. I will strongly advise students to work with some startup and to get some exposures because we are only learning concepts, only learning theories, right? But when you start applying it practically, it will improve your communication. It will improve your collaboration skills. It will improve your marketing skills. You will have so much skills when you start working with startups. You will get some more exposures. I would strongly advise to go out and work with some startups.
All right. So, like, I believe that Upcultus is somewhat similar to what Byju's is offering, what Merit Nation is offering, what Vedanta is offering, and it is also one of the other edtech startups. So there has been a very cutthroat competition in the field of education, and majority of the students are into online learning. So how do you manage to stand in such situations?
So we are more focusing on a skills part. We are going to train students. We are going to upskill them with 21st century skills. We are different from Vaijas and Vedantu. Talking about the key, we will be standing in ethical space. So see, when this pandemic happened, students are adapting online learning. So there are some competitions, there are some tough time, but also there are opportunities that people are choosing online platform. So the number of students are going to increase day by day for online learning platform. So when you are entering a tech startup, you just need to be more market focused. And second thing, Vedantu, Byju's, you talked about Vedantu and Byju's. That's why I'm talking. They mainly target premium sector. Everyone cannot afford Vedantu and Upcultus, right? Vedantu and Byju's, right? And what we are targeting mainly middle strata and lower strata. So our marketing segment is different, and their marketing segment is different. And at Cultus, we offer two programs. One, a skills with academics, and only a skills.
So, what is the pricing of all these services that Upcultus offers?
When we were starting, it was like 1,000 rupees for like 4 5 months, because I wanted to, because we were in pilot stage. When you start a startup, first month, second months, you are in pilot stage. So we are offering the course in 1,000 rupees, complete course in 1,000 rupees to 9 to 10 students. But now we are going to like change the pricing and all.
Okay, so that my last question would be like, what would you say on My Startup TV? What are your views on that?
Okay, so talking about My Startup TV, it's a great platform for young innovators, young entrepreneurs, student entrepreneurs who start their startups. They can inspire other people. They can many other can learn from them, and they get a platform, an opportunity to tell their story. So it's really a nice platform.
That's all for this, and thank you so much for your time.